Is up? What is up, everybody? And welcome to Studio de Heffrey. Been a minute. YouTube, Twitch, Facebook peoples. And honestly, the Diablo 4 servers are down. And I had some time to burn. And I thought, you know what? I hadn't popped on in a while. But with having a job and all that, check out 97.1 The Freak, 7 to 11 a.m. Myself, Kevin Turner, Julie Dobbs, Matt Cather, kicking ass on the Speakeasy. It's on the iHeartRadio app as well. We podcast every segment, so you can just hit auto download, listen to it whenever you want. I want to talk about the Cowboys offseason survey by our friend Jon Machota of The Athletic, because it gives me a great way to talk about a bunch of stuff. And shout out to the guys who are doing Cowboys content year round. I mean, I would be if I didn't accidentally go get another job. But shout out to them. In the dry season, they're still out there getting it. I see you, Corey. It's about GD time. Yeah, it's me. I didn't expect you to drop a video till July from Dante. Well, I told you. If the Diablo servers were up, I'd be riding around on a horse stabbing demons. But they're not up. Let me tell you who helps make this possible. Shout out to my guys at BetOnline, your number one source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, matchups for baseball, boxing, golf, more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Bet on the Texas Rangers. You know what I'm saying? Big 12:35 game with the Yankees today. Going to kick their ass, win the series. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline where the game starts. Why not do Mavs content? I'll do Mavs content. Look, here's the thing. This channel was built on Cowboys content almost exclusively. So if I pop up in this son of a bitch and I'm talking about Derek Lively, how many people are gonna be like, I'm out of here. I came here for Cowboys content. I'm glad you're not doing the same. Should Tyler Smith start at guard or tackle content 3 times a week when there's nothing to talk about? That is true. That is true. Shout out to my guys who are using their brain power to come up with original content throughout the offseason. I'm not doing it every day because there's not stuff to talk about every day. And I got another job. If I didn't have another job, I could probably put in the time to come up with 30 minutes worth of stuff to talk about. What up, Jeff? There's Kevin Gray Sports in the chat, who, by the way, I just hit follow on Spotify on his Mavericks podcast. Kevin Gray is a great person, a great broadcaster, and a great friend. Let me see the name of his podcast just so I can plug it. Would it be in my library? I don't know how to work apps. Kevin will type it in the chat. Inside the Mavs podcast right there on Spotify. Gray Area podcast too. Anybody else want me to plug their stuff? I just did that for KG because I love him. Cowboys Fan Survey, which, by the way, on The Athletic, I don't know why, it no longer exists. Like, I went to the link and it's not there anymore. Fortunately, I copy and pasted a lot of it because we talked about some of it on the radio. So what's up now? The majority of Cowboy fans like an electrical grid that works. I don't know if ours works or not. Step 1 in today's broadcast. I know you can come with an hour of content. You held it down when you left the fan. Yes, that's true. And when I left the fan, I did have time every day to do this. And when I joined the Freak, I don't have time every day to do this. But it is something that's important to keep going because it's mine. I own it, and no one can ever take it from me. So if anything goes terribly wrong, I'll be her. What do you guys want to do? Poll in the chat. How would you grade their offseason? Who do you want them to extend first? Pick one of those. Or who wins the NFC East? Maybe pick that. First 1 to 3 votes is a topic that I'm going to talk about. Meantime, I just play Cavanaugh. Hey, if anybody can find the audio of Jerry, you guys remember the show where Jerry Jones is on the helicopter and they have to turn around for Steven? And they're like, can we turn around for Steven? And Jerry's like, yeah, why not? Why not start the day effing it up? Might as well start the day effing it up. I want to play that at the beginning of our radio show, but I can't find the audio anywhere. I need that damn audio. You going to Oxnard this year? I don't think so. If I do, I might have to take vacation days to do it because I don't think our station is going to Oxnard. What price would you accept to sell these Jeff shows? That depends what you mean, Mr. Twitchy viewer. Man, you know you haven't been on very consistently when you can't get 3 votes in the chat for which topic to talk about. Grade the offseason. Extend CD, exceed Lamb. Okay, you know what? Technically, that qualifies as 3 about who they should extend first. Okay. 5 candidates for extensions with the Cowboys. You ready? Candidate 1, Dak Prescott. Why? Just because it makes sense. Otherwise, his actual contract runs out next year. There's a $60 million cap hit. If you do not believe in Dak as the quarterback, then you could just play that out. Have to play a lot of games with salaries next year when he counts for 60. You could do that. Me, as we'll get to later, if I get to the question, where does Dak rank in the NFL in terms of quarterbacks? Probably around 8th. I think you just do what you do with quarterbacks, which is pay the market value, add 4 or 5 years to that bad boy, and keep it moving. My other almost no-brainer is CeeDee Lamb. I think CeeDee has probably entered top 10 wide receiver category, and I think that'll be very clear by the end of this year. CeeDee Lamb's really good, whether he's slot, whether he's outside, wherever he is. Market rate's $30 million. Give CeeDee $30 million. Keep it moving. Where it gets complicated is the other 3 names for me. Terrence Steele. Really good right tackles make $20 million a year. Is that something you want to give to Terrence Steele? Probably not, especially coming off of an injury. Is Terrence Steele going to settle for $10 million a year, half the price of a great right tackle? Who knows? Players have agents for a reason. They try to get whatever they can on the open market. What would he get? Maybe more than that. So Terrence is one of those where I'll support the Cowboys when they're like, yeah, let's see if we can find the right number. But if you didn't have Terrence Steele, boy, they would have to sink so many more resources into the line because Tyron Smith ain't long for this world. Zach Martin's probably 2 more years in this world. Tyler Biadasz' contract is up by then. So it'll be Tyler Smith and whoever. I'm going to have to go on another run of investing in the offensive line. So I think Terrence Steele will be a Cowboy because he strikes me as the kind of guy that you could just offer him a reasonable contract where nobody's happy. The Cowboys like, we had to give a little more than we wanted to. And Steele and his camp are like, I wish we could have got a little bit more. And you go, good. Sounds like a great contract. Trayvon Diggs is the hardest one for me. And he is the most polarizing to talk about because I do think there are a lot of people in the world who think that he's one of the best corners in football. I don't. I think there are a lot of people in the world that think that he's burnt toast. I don't. Although elements of both of those things are true. On a play in, play out basis, if we're going to say, look, interceptions aren't real, which we can't do, but I'm going to for just a second. And you just say every play, I'm going to watch this guy cover the guy that he's covering. And I'm going to tell you how well he did it. I don't think Diggs is the best corner on the Cowboys. I think Stephon Gilmore is. When it comes to the number of plays he's made on a football because of his play style, which is somewhat guesswork, or you could call it super aggressive. Diggs is definitely a good corner. But a guy who's had his visibility in his season with 11 picks, don't you think Trayvon Diggs and his agent are going, yeah, top of the market? I'm a $20 million player. I'm a $21 million player. Probably, because why wouldn't you try to get that kind of monies? I don't think I'd want to give it to him. Here's Jeff doing a little hating on a Sunday. If you had to name all the top corners in football, when would you get to Trayvon Diggs' name? For some people, you might think it's in the top 3 or top 5. I think it's more in the top 20, something like that. Randall, if someone offered 2 firsts for Diggs, would you trade him? I would. And I think I could replace him with one of those firsts. I just don't know if anybody would do that because you would be trading 2 ones to pay him top of the market money. And I like Trayvon Diggs, okay? So don't you be coming up in here saying that I'm hating on a guy or getting in his pockets. I'm just talking about a salary cap league. Dak is a near no-brainer. CeeDee is a near no-brainer. Steele, I'm pretty confident gets a deal done just because I think they can make it fit and he's not going to be a super highly paid dude. Give Diggs his money. He does the thing they hated that Byron Jones didn't do. If they don't pay him, then what are we really doing here? Corner, I'm only paying the guy that does both. Just be a badass. And I would rather have Byron for his first contract than Trayvon, I think. I want consistently good corners. Interceptions will happen sometimes. They won't sometimes. I thought it was going to be different with Diggs because, man, he'll just catch everything he has a chance to. He dropped 3 picks last year, so that's not true. He just had a giant year. If he's going to get 4 or 5 picks a year and be an average corner, I'm not paying great corner money for that. I ain't doing that. Problem with Byron Jones is they made the right decision to not extend him and give him huge money, but it turns out it's because his body was breaking down. Does the salary cap go up every year? It does. And to be clear, they could fit all these guys. NFL teams at any given point generally have 6 or so guys that are highly paid, and it can go in very different ways. I think the Chiefs' top 5 or 6 guys, it's $130 million this year. And then the Bills is their top 6 guys is 60 or 70 million. But could you fit Dak, CD, Diggs, Parsons? CD, Diggs, Parsons. And by the time you're paying Parsons, Tyron's falling off of that highly paid group. Martin's getting toward falling off of that group. You can get all these guys done. It's doable. And then the one that I would just say, yeah, we'll talk about this in a year, is Tony Pollard. You just let him play out on the tag. And out of all those guys, who do I think is the best at their position? Probably Pollard. But you know me and running backs. See, damn, Jeff hates Diggs. Jeff doesn't hate Diggs. I think Stephon Gilmore's a top 10 corner in the league, as long as he's still got as much as he had a year ago. And then I think Diggs is probably top 20. Is top 20 elite? If CD was the 18th best receiver in the league, would I want to pay him top of the market money? No. But I think he's probably better than that. And I think with where the roster is right now, CeeDee Lamb is literally unreplaceable. I don't think that's true of Diggs. Maybe I am a hater. Maybe I am. Off-season grade, B. It's a B. Stephon Gilmore and Brandon Cooks is an A+. The draft is a C or something like that, maybe a D. But also telling the future is hard, so I could be way wrong on their draft, but I would have done different things in the second round and third round faux show. I like Deuce Vaughn. I've come around on Mozzie Smith just because if you are really, really, really good as a defensive tackle, that's a lot of value these days. That wasn't always true. They kind of got the running back treatment. If you were primarily a run-stopping defensive tackle, you kind of got that running back treatment where it's why would I pay for that? But in a world where everybody is so good at passing and every defense only cares about stopping the pass, so everybody plays too deep and you got to stop the run with one man short of what you used to, you could talk me into Mozzie Smith if he's going to turn into one of those guys that's an absolute stud run stopper. Just find me a little bit of juice as a pass rusher. A little bit of juice. So the offseason free agency, well, I guess technically it's not free agency. It's trades for Gilmore and Cooks. A+ there. Draft price C. That makes an offseason of a B. What position concerns you the most? Somebody sent a chat about this earlier. The reason I'm not doing videos every day is because there's not a ton to talk about. It's offensive line, obviously. Jeff, how much do you want to bet Osiris doesn't even start for the Bills? Schoonmaker. Oh, I have no idea if Osiris Torrance is going to start. I don't know what their offensive line situation looks like. And honestly, Osiris might not have been a fit for the Cowboys anyway. He's more of a mauler, and they like the dudes who can move. He might not have been the right pick, but they're just Schoonmaker wouldn't have been my pick regardless. You're going to make me go back, but I would have probably 10 or 15 names before him. And that's okay. It's okay. Just like people who got mad when I was like, man, I love what the Mavericks did in the draft. And there's people who's like, Derek Lively was ranked 20th. And I'm like, okay, by somebody. Mavericks don't care. Luke Schoonmaker was ranked 75th by Jeff. Cowboys don't care. They're pretty good at this. They could be right. But yeah, we'll see. He's in a boot already. Hurt guy is in a boot already. We'll see what happens with Scooney. That was one of the questions in the offseason survey too, which On draft day, just because they used a second round pick, I was like, yeah, Schoonmaker probably be the starter, play most of the snaps at tight end. I don't know. We'll see if he takes tight end 1 from Fergie. KG in the super chat. Heck yeah, baby. How you doing, Jeff? Very well. Thank you for asking. Best I've been in a long time. Not right this second, but in general. Because right this second, I had some drinks yesterday, which are not good for your mental health the next morning. How much do I have to super chat to get caviar and fish? I don't know. I'll do crap with lots of people. Whoever's ready, as soon as I am ready to go do something. Like, my schedule's wild. So now it's just like, whenever I feel like it. It's like, ooh, this morning I felt like it. The cap allows you to pay top dollar to at least 2 defenders. In my opinion, that should be Diggs and Parsons. Lawrence's money will be off the books soon. Lawrence, you can get him off the books after next season. So yeah, like you wouldn't catch me yelling at the Cowboys if they extend Diggs. I just think he is the one that is the most debatable to me. If you sit down in a room and you're like, what are we doing? Jeff is microdosing this morning. That is not true. I did that yesterday. I don't usually do it back-to-back days, but I might when I'm done here. Or a guy I know might. There's definitely nothing in my house that is illegal. Nothing at all. Who will win the NFC East? Well, let's talk about it. Dak is 10-2 against the Giants, 9-2 against Washington, 8-3 against Philly. That's 27-7. They can win the NFC East. And if they do, they can make the Super Bowl. And then Pat Mahomes will beat us because he's awesome. But in my heart of hearts, my honest of honest, if I stack up the Cowboys and Eagles, I think I like the Eagles a little better. Not like them. I hate them. Sports hate. Quarterback, push. I would say Jalen Hurts outplayed Dak last year. And so if you take Hurts, I'm cool with that. If you say I believe in the guy with the body of work of being really good for longer, that you believe in that more, I say, okay, I get it. Quarterback's a push. Running back, Cowboys by a touch, but it's also running back. Wide receiver, Eagles by a smidge. A.J. Brown versus CD, push. Devontae Smith versus Brandon Cooks, probably Devontae Smith. And who's their 3? Zacchaeus? And the Cowboys 3 is Gallup. You can talk me into calling that a push too, but I think I like the Eagles wide receivers better. Goddard is the best tight end in the division. He's a beast. Eagles offensive line is probably the best in football. So far, I've given the Cowboys an advantage over the Eagles at one position, and that's running back. Pass rushers, probably push. Parsons and Tank. Hassan Reddick and Josh Sweat. That is really good versus really good. Defensive tackle, Eagles. Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Fletcher Cox versus Mozzie Smith and Osa. Cornerback, push. Slay, Bradbury, Maddox versus Diggs, Gilmore, and fill in the blank in the slot with the Cowboys 5 different options. Safety, Cowboys. Linebacker, I think they're both pretty meh. Probably a push. So I would say the Cowboys are better than the Eagles at safety and running back. The Eagles are better than the Cowboys at wide receiver, tight end, O-line, D-tackle, and that's it. Eagles are going to break down this year. No evidence, just a feeling. I hope so. That'd be great. How is pass rushing a push? Because if you don't acknowledge that Josh Sweat and Hassan Reddick are really, really, really good, then I think you're just lying to yourself because you love your team and hate the other teams. The Eagles have really good pass rush. You don't like Bland. I love Bland. I just didn't name him right off the top because I think there's a chance Jordan Lewis starts. I think Izzy Mukwamu played the slot really well when he got his crack at it. I think they have a lot of dudes capable of playing in there. If it were up to me and you said it's day one, who's going out there, I would say Deron Bland. But I didn't name anybody in particular because it could be Jordan Lewis. Hi, y'all. Hi, Steven. Has strength of schedule factored heavily in Cowboys winning division? Cowboys win the division a decent amount of time. I mean, a lot of times when they don't, their quarterback got hurt, which sucks. Let's see. What is the difference? The Eagles will have the first place schedule, so they'll have a couple of different games that in theory would be harder than the Cowboys. You forgot about Hankins on the interior D line. Well, I wasn't going to name two nose tackles. I'm sure they will play together some. And also Hankins is creeping up towards the end. He was certainly still a good run defender last year. Hopefully he can still be the same. Let me see. Which rookie will make the biggest impact? Mozzie Smith. And that will not be close. Overshown will be interesting. Athletic, run and smack people missile with Dan Quinn. Could Overshown take a starting job next to LVE? Maybe. And if he does, that'd be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. Let me see if I missed anything here. No, I don't think so. All right, you guys ready? Where does Dak Prescott rank amongst NFL quarterbacks was a question on Jon Machota's Cowboys offseason survey. I'll let you guys post in the comments. 50th. 3rd. Leave in the comments. Where does Dak rank? NFL quarterback rankings according to Cavanaugh. The best quarterback in the football league is Pat Mahomes. The end. Second best quarterback in the NFL is probably Josh Allen. Third best quarterback in the NFL is maybe Joe Burrow. Fourth best quarterback in the National Football League is either Lamar Jackson or Justin Herbert. And then the other one's fifth. Maybe Aaron Rodgers is sixth. And seventh is where I would get to Dak, Hurts, and Trevor Lawrence. So you may pick whatever order you want. But even if I was being overly kind to others and overly critical of Dak, I still don't think I could get him below 9th. Stafford is not better than Dak. Deshaun Watson is not better than Dak. Now, maybe he'll turn into Houston Deshaun Watson magically, but I also won't be pulling for him. Carr's not better than Dak. Cousins isn't better than Dak. Tua played great. So if you want to get real crazy, you can't get Dak lower than 9th, and I'd probably put him at Hurts was really good last year. I don't know. Dak's the 7th or 8th best quarterback. Why does Josh Allen get to have 14 picks and 13 fumbles, but Dak can't have 15 picks? That depends who you ask. Dak Prescott's interceptions to me are this much alarming. Literally 0. I don't care about him at all. Because what you got to do is dive deeper. Why did Dak throw interceptions? Well, the answer is the vast majority of them were in must-pass situations, which is 3rd and long. And he attempted to make the aggressive play like he did all year long, which led to the top-scoring offense in football once he returned from injury. So if that comes with sometimes Noah Brown not being able to catch the ball or anybody not named CD not being open, well, I take the trade-off of scoring the most points in football if it comes with the other team catching one each week. I would. Dak, over the course of his career, is not an interception thrower. So do we think that he just suddenly started becoming a bad decision maker throwing picks? No. He's gotten more confident, more aggressive, and his weapons weren't very good, and he still made it work to the tune of leading the league in scoring when he came back from the injury. And the other team caught some. And a few of them were just bad plays by Dak, where it's like, holy crap, you didn't see that, or you didn't see that coverage. But there's also a lot of, this is 3rd and long. Are you going to just concede and punt when you're one of the best in football at converting this and going to score points? No, go convert it. Try to score points. Who's this guy? LOL. If you're referring to the guy talking, it would be something that you clicked on. So 3rd and 30 T.Y. Hilton. Yeah, my guy's slanging. Slanging. What do you guys think about Hunter as RB2? I think RB2 is wide open. It could be Ronald Jones. Could be Malik Davis. Could be Rico Dowdle. I think it could be Deuce Vaughn. And I do think fullback, man. has a chance to make the team and get some touches. If the weapons weren't good, how were they the best offense? Oh, that's a great question. But you don't want the answer. That's the problem. Cowboys' offensive line was okay. Better than okay early in the year. Tony Pollard was good, but they were giving the ball to a guy who averaged less than 4 yards a carry, more than they gave it to Pollard. And they have one really good wide receiver. So why was the Cowboys' offense good? Which of those things am I lying about? The answer is none. So why do they score so many points? It's because the quarterback that a lot of people hate is pretty good. And the offensive coordinator that a lot of people hate, probably pretty good. But we're too busy having hot opinions to recognize it. You don't want the answer. I think we keep 5 running backs. That would be insane. 2023 in the National Football League, if you got 5 running backs, you cray. Contracts stopping your draft analysis and Mike? What does that mean? And Mike? Fisher? No, I can do whatever I want. My contract at my current employer says I can do whatever I want. Other people can't do whatever they want. Other people's employers can stop them from doing stuff with me, but I can do whatever I want because my employer wanted me. So they said, what would you like? And I told them what I would like. And they said, okay. Why didn't the great Dak show up in San Francisco? That's a great question. Do you want the answer is the problem because most people don't. You played the best defense in the NFL. You did not protect well. One guy got open and Tony Pollard got hurt. If you want to go back to the San Francisco game and watch it play by play, feel free to fire your thoughts on where you thought Dak effed up. Now, if it's just like I wanted him to do something magical and win this game, that's cool because I would think that about Mahomes maybe, where it's like, I don't care that you didn't protect well, and I don't care that you didn't run well, and I don't care that none of your guys could get open and their pass rush is very good. If your answer is just my quarterback didn't win the Super Bowl, he sucks, that's cool. You can sports that way. I can't stop you. Do you think Dak will throw less interceptions this year? Yes, because Brandon Cooks exists. They got another weapon. I don't know if this was already asked or talked about, the real possibility of Jerry bringing back Zeke. I'll say in theory it's possible. I'll say it's less than a 10% chance, especially after Dak's quote the other day where he was, because he's still working out with Zeke. Zeke still comes to the Dak yard and works out. But his phrasing was like, whatever his next opportunity is, it's going to be great for him and somebody. Like, that's the words of a guy who knows he ain't going to be here. He ain't going to be here. He doesn't need to be. Honest. Jeff, are you a Gemini or Sagitt something? Jeff is a Gemini. Jeff, what are your thoughts on the depth at linebacker? I think they got depth, but I also think they only got one good one, or at least one proven good one. And even that one could be a little shaky. Vander Esch played well last year. He's good. But now it's Damone Clark versus Overshown versus Jabril Cox. Like, they got guys. They have depth. I don't know that they have high-end talent. Maybe you have guys who could develop into that. You hope. But I don't think they are great in terms of starters. Purdy played with a 7th-round rookie. They were at a major disadvantage, yet Dak couldn't outplay him. Quarterbacks don't outplay each other. You play against the defense you play against. And Purdy didn't do much either. But yeah, the Cowboys, if they wanted to beat the 49ers last year, needed to score more points. The easiest way to score more points would have been to have better players to throw to, but they didn't. They ran into another good football team, and they ran out of weapons, and that's that. And they addressed it with Brandon Cooks. So if you could run it back with the 49ers this year, I'd feel really good about the Cowboys' chances to beat them. You see Turpin involved in the offense this year. Maybe, because I don't know who was holding him back or who was afraid to put him at wide receiver. But also remember that he's never really been an impact wide receiver. It's always been as a return guy. So it might just be that ain't his game, which is weird for a guy that's that fast and quick that you can't figure out a way to use him. So hopefully they can. That would be really cool if he could help out. Oh, I've been talking for a half hour. It was good to see you guys. I'm going to go see if Diablo 4 servers are back up. This presentation has been brought to you by my friends at Bet Online and by me. Check out 97.1 The Freak. The Speakeasy. Yeah, my birthday's May 20-something. It's probably findable online, right? Anytime somebody asks that, though, I assume you're about to steal my identity. Oh, well. Love you guys. Have a good day. Practice your gratitudes, even if it's been a crappy day. Think of something you're grateful for. Write it down. Do it every night. Love you. See you on The Freak tomorrow morning at 7. Jeff, what class are you playing? I'm playing a rogue. All right.